see these bans, and the game is in and we're ready to go. So I'm keen for, another game. It is on Oregon, but you know what? I think these teams will bring us something different from what we just saw. So I'm keen to get into it, Elijah. But first ban to go out, and it'll be Thatcher. So already off to a good start in terms of that change.
Yeah, I do like that. That specifically is going to help you a lot in terms of your defense downstairs, because we've seen time and time again, like we always mention, that teams struggle to open up that E-box hatch when you've only got 2 of those EMP grenades, unless you are obviously running more than one operator that has those impact EMPs. But Flores is going to follow up with another ban. That's a useful ban as well in terms of clearing out that util. So that's going to add a lot of relief for your defending sides if you want to keep up those deployable shields. I was going to mention those keeper barriers, but I've got another ban is going to be tossed out, and that will be your Azami.
Yeah, and Azami being off the board, but that's an interesting ban.
Ooh.
A smoke ban coming out from Nutty. Now, we haven't seen that on Oregon, and I like that already. A different game, although we're seeing that Flores Azami again for the bans. A smoke ban.
I like that. We always like to mention that running the defense of Goyo and Smoke is so well for choking at times, so clearing out that is definitely going to help you. But I do like seeing Glut run this Echo. Now, that's sort of your replacement for the Smoke, right? You need that anti-plant denial, and keeping those yokai drones alive has a lot of effect on whether you're able to get that plant down or not. So we'll move downstairs first into the basement for Nutty's very first defense. We'll see how they can hold against the attack of Riot.
Yeah, and I think, they're running that Cade, so it's going to be a interesting sort of way to open up that hatch. But look, we're already seeing a different sort of attack lineup as well from Riot. They're bringing that Maverick, so they're going to be able to open up that hatch regardless of that K-Claw if they have the time to do so, and if the Maverick manages to stay alive. But we're seeing Echo being in play as well. I'm loving this.
I do like both of these teams switching up from traditional players, so we'll get to see how their attack prevails. I don't believe they have any roamers upstairs yet, which is seen quite commonly, so they're going to have to get the execute underway. I do believe there is a roamer over towards that small tower side, though, so that Ayana of Asus is going to be a little bit careful as well. You can see the intel's already coming out yellow, picking his position as well, as they're already taking that top floor control. Armory is going to be forfeited, as the vertical play is already forfeited to Cyro. He's trying to get some of that underway, add a little bit of pressure, but Squish has found his way up to these white stairs as well, accompanied by that yokai drone who could potentially help him with the stun. Lion's going to give away his scan as well. And he finds the very first pick. Squish able to capitalize onto Cyro and get away unpunished as of yet. Nothing to follow up. A little bit of damage done to Ducko, but nothing to come of it just yet, as Squish manages to find yet another kill. Tries to go for the third, but loses a significant amount of HP. But he will remain alive. Back onto these stairs. 2 early picks, and you're back down to the site.
Yeah, he is that low HP, but finding 2 and managing to stay alive, being able to tell that story that you killed 2 and still alive, that's a massive achievement for Nutty, and they should start to just sort of run down this clock now and not allow Riot to find any sort of picks too early. It's still early days. Halfway into the round now. They still have Ducko, though, in that small tower area, so he's going to be a nuisance. But Flux, he's going to ignore. He's just going to try and push down these freezer stairs, try and get a pick.
Ooh. What's going on with Maverick right now? I believe he's hurt trying to open up that hatch, but Flux is able to capitalize, push down these freezer stairs and capitalize on a kill onto Ajax. And you can see that Ducko is still up into these shower halls, trying to waste as much time as he can, potentially doing as much damage as possible. But no one's gone for him just yet. With 59 seconds left, he has so much potential to go for that late flank. It looks like Rella, he's trying to position himself to help with his team to try and clear him out. And there we go, Flex. He's able to clean up Ducko and take it down to an even 3-3 now.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting sort of position for Nutty. They managed to lose the man advantage, and Squish, he's quite low. There is some damage done to Riot, but they're still not as bad condition as Squish is in. But they do have that Echo that can deny a plan, and the time is ticking. So if they only start to plant in the last few seconds, it is going to be rough. But there we go. The low HP of Squish is going to cost him there. But Raindrops with a nice flick with that TCSG onto Rattler. And it's back to that 2v2 plan. Is going down, though. 10 seconds. Can the Echo Cam find it? Raindrops almost missing. The shield's got him stuck there in the hallway. But he does find the head of Flux. But now post-plant position and Tesla in a 1v2. They're using that Echo Cam to spot out his position. They're going to stun him, make him a bit disorientated, but he's just holding his ground, ready for any sort of gunfight. He's going to swing into this box, but they are collapsing on him. He's got to be careful. He finds one. Can he find the second? No, he unfortunately just runs out of ammo on the transfer. And Gluttony, he's able to find that defuse and find the first round for Nutty.
That was close. And for a defensive round downstairs in the basement, which traditionally has a 100% defense rate, it was really close. Riot almost find themselves the win regardless of having 2 players down in that early engagement. So they're going to have to choose somewhere else now. They're going upstairs, which is a lot harder to defend. So Riot, they're looking to make a comeback.
They for sure are. And, you know, even though Riot, they lost 2 so early, but it came down to a 1v1, Elijah. So that just shows that Riot, they can find those picks back even when the time looks rough for them. So if they continue to find those picks when they need to, when they're down those numbers, you know, maybe Nutty might not be able to hold their ground as easily as they think. But they are running that Echo again, which definitely proved useful last time. So I wonder how that's going to go going into this Kidstorm site. But they're also bringing the Valkyrie. So lots of intel coming out from Nutty. And that seems to be their comfortable sort of position. Knowing where those attackers are coming from. Knowing where they're positioned, especially on those post plants. And able to play off of that. So I wonder if it's going to benefit them again. Or if Riot are able to shut it down. They're not bringing that IQ. Which would definitely be beneficial with clearing out all of that intel. But let's see how they deal with it.
Well, judging from the lineup coming out from Riot Gaming, they're going for like a traditional sort of take with that tower control already being taken by Rella. He's got the can open as well to put onto the attic main wall. There's nothing to stop him from opening it up, I believe, unless they've positioned one of the mute jammers that Raindrops had in his pocket. It'll make it just a little bit harder. It looks like he has, so he's unable to open that up, but you can see the Lion's already positioned himself up, and he has those pocket EMPs that'll help him open it up.
Another thing to sort of mention, Elijah, I just noticed that Trident last week, they also banned smoke in Oregon. So, you know, it has happened before, but it's still a very unusual ban, and it's definitely changed the way that Nutty, like, they were the ones that banned it, but you can see that they, for their post-plant denial, they prefer that Echo, and maybe that's their idea, to try and make other teams be put off guard when they go on the defense.
It'll definitely throw them off course, that's for sure as well. So, and they're doing well for time though. They've opened up that attic, I believe, and oh, you're caught off guard, but you managed to miss that kill. It'll elude you, and you'll be punished for it. Syro is able to clean up the kill onto Ducko though to try and even things up as well to match the energy as he clears up Ajax and takes it down to a 3v5 now as the Lion scans make it hard for the positioning of Nutty Gaming.
Whoa. Flux able to find Squish, but Glut to find Flux, and now we have a bit of a back and forth action, but Syro, he's able to shut down Raindrops. Gluttony to find one to Rella, but it's all left to him, and I do believe he has to ace to win this round. He does have those Echo Cams, but he has to go onto them to use it. Need to go out to shut him down from pushing that concrete, and the plant's going to be finished.
Well, they have to be a little bit careful of the positionings here. He narrowly misses the kill onto that Ayana, but quickly down Syro as well. But a nice little shot from the head holes is going to do him down to like about 5 HP. He's not looking good at the moment, but still got the time to work with. He's got no HP, so he has to be a little bit careful on how he chooses his positioning and swinging. But they're playing on the back now for as Glut. He's able to clean him up. Leave it down to a 1v2 now as he knows the positioning of the player onto white stairs. He'll do a quick swing, but he's backed up trying to play passive. He wants to make sure that he runs all the time he can with only 14 seconds left to do so. Aiz is able to find the kill.
He definitely could have almost made it work, and it looked sort of a bit scary for Riot, but they do pick up the round, And they looked very good in that on that execute and finding those picks so easily. And that's, you know, ties things up here and makes it a little bit more challenging for Nutty, as they're going to go back to that kids' dorms. They're not going to opt to go to one of those tertiary sites. They're going to try and fix things up and maybe, hopefully, not sort of rely just on Gluttony to win that one out and shut down these pushes coming out from Riot, which I like their takes.
It is pretty traditional. I mean, taking out that addict as fast as you can. I mean, maybe they'll try to work for that, slowing down that sort of push. Doesn't look like they're running anything to stop other than that mute, which, you know, you can't really trick a mute, right? So they're sort of just relinquishing control of that addict side, expecting them to take it. So we'll have to wait and see how Nutty can adapt to the push that Riot Game pulled on them last time, because it does look like they are doing the exact same thing as before.
Yeah, and it looks like Aces, he can't move his drone right now, but he's good. He's okay. His drone just has a bit of a malfunction. Maybe he got one of those, you know, off-brand ones. He ordered the one wrong, you know, the wrong one from Amazon or something. But he's gonna be okay going into the round. But we've got Glut here back again. Is he gonna do some more damage this time round, or is his team gonna sort of back him up and help his team get the win?
I guess we'll find out. You can see already the same sort of push coming out from Riot as well, as they've already got control over that attic side as well. Lions there to accompany with those EMPs, so they're gonna have no trouble opening up that attic again. So maybe play a little bit more aggressive on it. I don't know how well it worked out for them last time in terms of how they got that attic control. I do believe that they defended it quite well. Hopefully they can do the same in the second row. They've already got the angle set up, looking for a nice little pick. No one to get overly aggressive. They're just waiting for each team to try and make the mistake first. But they've got the intel.
They do, and that BP in pit is definitely going to be a nuisance for Riot, as it's going to give a lot of intel, and there's no room to hack either. They don't have a Dokkaebi, they don't have a Brava, so they're going to have to use that utility to clear that. Otherwise, it'll continue to disable, but Ace is able to disable Ajax and take him out from this round. But Squish with the refrag, so he's able to sort of find that pick back. But Rella able to shut down Squish, and Riot, they're definitely doing a lot better on this top floor side than they did on the basement side. So this is looking rough for Nutty right now.
Oh, they definitely need to pick it back, and they've got the positioning to do so, as well as the utility. Not only do you have the shotgun on raindrops, which just makes it super hard for you to peek that main breach as well, but you've got the echo cams already set up to watch that wide flank as well. Raindrops, his head up. You can hear the audio cues of Ace, who is in that master bedroom. He looks like he's gone for a little bit of a swing as well. Narrowly avoids a bullet, but Glut, he's able to kick onto Rella, as well as a shotgun from Raindrops, capitalizing onto another kill. Ducko finding his own as well, but Cyro is able to try and trade it back onto Raindrops, leaving it to a 2v1 now, with the Echo still alive as well. He's into that main breach. Vertical play is going to come in. It's going to do a lot of damage, but he trades it back with just as much damage to leave it down to Ducko on 50 HP now, but the 1.5 is able to do a lot of damage, but a nice refrag from Ducko will clean it up.
Yeah, he may have whiffed through the vert, but he secured the kill on top of Wyatt, and that was a good round for Nutty. Definitely played it a lot better. Riot also played it really well, but unfortunately they allowed, I do believe, Raindrops to push through that breach, and it sort of went a bit skew-iff after that.
It's that shotgun.
It is.
The amount of damage that shotgun does is just incredible. So if you're not watching those breaches, you swing with that shotgun 9 times out of 10, you'll get the kill. I mean, it just takes one pump. You just have to hit it. But we'll move to a tertiary site this time. A little bit of a different one. I do like watching this site unfold though, and they're still running that Echo, and that's definitely the pinnacle of the defense by the looks of it. Just by the theme of how they're defending this site, they love running that Echo, and that's going to be a huge impact on this site specifically, because we've seen teams run OSA over and over again to get control of that stage, but the defense in general from Nutty has been quite different from what we normally see. Usually we'll see teams that they double reinforce that stage. This time, they've got feet holes on it.
it is sort of a bit more default to run those feed holes, but we have seen a lot of times that, you know, you're right. We have seen, you know, a little bit more recently, a lot of teams just don't want to risk having those footholds being used against them. So, but Nutty, they're confident that they can use it and abuse it and hopefully get some picks off of it. But Riot, they are going for this big tower take, and we see this most of the time being done so that they can open up this attic wall, then open up that stage wall, and then from there they sort of go for an execute. They do have that OCE to help them do that, which you mentioned earlier. So it'll be interesting to see how the Echo comes into play with this. He is playing a little bit more aggressive, so if he is to fall from this position, he isn't going to be able to utilize the denial of those yokai cams. So if he gets sort of pushed off and they clear that shield, he's going to be sort of careful dropping that hatch and potentially losing his life.
And that definitely wouldn't be good for them. But he has got a nice little angle there between the deployable shield and the table that has been flipped. So if he manages to find at least one, I mean, it's going to be super impactful, especially if you manage to get rid of that global utility of that line, who's the only person on their side with the EMPs at the moment. So what a huge pick that would be.
It would be indeed, but the Talon shields are going out to sort of give that cover before that breach is open, and he's sort of scouting for info with it as well, which is a pretty common thing that we see, but he's going to utilize the second one to hold this green hall here. So a good, nice peek from there, but Echo going to be careful there, but Flux not quite able to find the connection of those shots, but the breach is opened a little bit, but not enough to be able to walk through that one. And they're forgetting that there's 2 K-Claws. And they haven't brought more than 2 EMPs. The OCE is actually running smoke grenades, Elijah.
Yeah, that'll definitely forfeit that attic control if you're unable to open it up. Both EMPs are gone. You haven't cleared that Cade, so definitely going to make it harder and swing it in the positioning of Nutty Gaming, as Ducko even confirms it even more as he finds a kill on Rella, but traded back by Aces as well. Also trying to play a little bit aggressive. Squish will find the kill, and it'll be a trade for both of them, actually. They'll both manage to fall to that, take it down to a 3v3 now as Glove is trying to get aggressive, but he's aware of the positioning. Aces has made his way inside of Kitchen, he's able to clear him up, and that'll leave it all down to Ajax and Ducko. Ducko is able to find a kill onto Cyro, take it down to a 2v2, but immediately traded back by Aces as he's got that kitchen control with his teammate as well to try and get that diffuser down, but Aces goes big for his team and finds the very last kill.
Yeah, he finds the 4K, and that was a good sort of switch up from them. They were able to find their way into Kitchen, and I think that was a pretty good sort of comm from the team. Whoever made it definitely worked out in the favor of Riot, and they are able to even up things. And unfortunately, I think Ducko, he had the right idea finding that first pick, but maybe dropping that hatch wasn't that right idea after that. You know, they're forced to plant or move into your other teammate in the other side, so bit of a misplay there, but, you know, these things happen. No one's perfect. Mistakes do happen, and maybe it was a bit of a miscommunication, but we move to round 5 and back to this laundry supply site, which, you know, we saw them win last time, but only just.
You know, commonly enough, with the round that was just played out, they managed to get themselves back to a 2-2, thanks to that lurk specifically into that kitchen. And that's not the very first time that I've seen that lurk. I don't remember which team we were casting at the time, but commonly a flank from a solo push that manages to maybe come from that white stairs or maybe that small tower as well. A lot of the attention from the defense for a meeting hall and a kitchen site is either upstairs into that attic, or it's directed specifically to you know, that attic or that stage downstairs that you've popped yourself up in meeting. So a lot of teams potentially forget about someone potentially trying to sneak their way into that kitchen, and it worked out well for them. So I mean, maybe for that's something that each team needs to remember, is that there potentially could be something sneaky like that happening.
Yeah, and they got to be careful of those lurks, and knock is available. So if a team, either team chooses to use her later on, would be very beneficial, especially on a map like this. There's a lot of lurk potential, and looks like Rella, he's sort of just clearing, making sure no one's on that top floor. But Cyro, He's down here in bottom white, and he's bound to be in an engagement with Ducko here in that security. He's not careful, but Flux, he's going to take some damage on that armory stairs, actually. I think that was from Ajax, maybe shooting at him, but Riot, they're stalling for time a little bit.
And they're doing well. I mean, Nutty, they are doing well trying to slow them down as well. Flux will open up a kill onto Ajax, and that'll take off that Solus. So that'll definitely add a lot of relief in terms of clearing out some angles. Yeah, getting rid of those roams as well. Squish is still in a nice position on top of these freezer stairs to try and find an early pick and potentially find his way back down. But you can see that Riot aren't looking to play with no time any longer. They don't want to reuse these EMPs. They bring that Maverick yet again to open up this E-box hatch because they don't want to struggle with that at all. Lion scan as well to pop out. And you can see the positioning from Riot. They're setting up for an execute. They're sending one of their players down to bunker. They've got those back stairs. They're making work onto this E-box hatch. They just need to work for time now. They've only got 50 seconds left to do so. And a nice read from Tesla is able to avoid that C4. But Squish manages to find it down. Can he find the confirm though?
He does not just yet, but it was an answer to them losing Ajax, so hopefully they can finish him off as he is that low HP. But Tesla, he took a large amount of damage opening up that hatch, so he is also going to be careful of the gunfights he takes. But we did see that Ducko got knocked off the board as well, so a 3v5, make that a 2v5. Never mind, Riot for this round, and on the basement side too. I do believe that's our first win across these two games today, but we've seen the attacking side win it.
I mean, that's definitely a statement to make, and Riot definitely have to be happy about that because that will put them in the lead. For a downstairs, that's super big. That'll definitely add a lot of confidence in terms of whether they go there again, but we're going upstairs to the meeting hall this time instead of running it back.
Yeah, they want to give this side another go. You know, last time it all came to that sort of switch up and going into that dining kitchen area. That really cost Nutty the round. So, Riot, 3-2 on attack so far. And if they lose at 3-3 on the split, that's a pretty good position. But if they can win this round as well, like they did the previous 4-2 at the half, going into that defense. We saw it last game. Can it happen again? We'll have to see. Maybe Nutty are just better on that attack. I do believe we've had this conversation before where Nutty, they struggled a little bit on the defense, but on the attack they looked a lot cleaner. So maybe that's the same case here.
I mean, they are getting as many rounds as they can. They've managed to stay sort of even with Riot so far, with the last round being on that 2-2. So you can imagine they're looking to get that even score count of 3-3 before going to the switch over. And yeah, being on that 3-3 split, and that's the best thing you can ask for, right? I mean, back to ground zero, it's anybody's game from there. Guess you gotta wait to see how the round turns out. They're running it off this time, KJ.
They are. They listened to me, man. They tuned into the caster comms.
Grenades though, no EMPs. They did struggle to get rid of that Cade last time.
They did, but maybe this time they're more aware that there is two, one at the bottom and one at the top, maybe. But and there we go. They definitely are listening, and they definitely are adapting and learning from those mistakes. So they're going to be able to make quick use of that and get a nice little angle here onto the sandbags from that little part on the top attic.
Yeah, but they've got no EMPs left. I think they managed to shoot the Cade. Otherwise, it would still be electrified. Rella able to find a kill back onto Ducko to take it down to a 4v5. Now, Glut to take a heap of damage, and that's your Echo. You don't want to lose him too early on as well. There you go. The Cade set up nicely as well, so that'll stop you from opening up that main breach now as Tesla loses a chunk of HP. Squish to confirm the kill onto Azaz and take it down to an even score count, but Glut's managed to find himself down. No confirm to come out from Riot just yet, but Squish is trying to look for a kill himself as he's popped himself up onto the attic. He's going to lose the engagement though. Rella able to find the nice pick onto that and take it down to a 3v4. Even less so as Glut managed to find himself down. No info to come out from those yokai drones just yet. And it's swinging in the way of Riot Games.
Yeah, and Echo being down, you're not going to be able to deny this plant unless you're able to find the C4. But there we go, the C4 comes out. Doesn't deny the plant, but it denies Cyro. And he's not able to connect. And Rattler finding his third kill in the round. And I don't know who downed that Echo just yet, but Ajax, he's the last one live and standing. And he's about on that 20 HP. Plant is going down, and he's not going to be able to stop it from going down. And now it's all about retaking and finding these picks, but no. Rella able to shut him down. That's 4 for him.
It was Rella to down the... Oh no, it wasn't Rella to down the Echo. Otherwise, he would have had that ace, right? I mean, what a statement that would have been if you managed to find that angle. But a 4K, that's pretty formidable.
It is definitely formidable nonetheless. And, you know, he had a massive impact on that round. Not only did he find those kills, but he cleared that Echo shield. He helped his team put that pressure onto that Echo as well. And whoever found that kill onto the Echo, it was done so because of Ralla's help as well. So just good teamwork all round. And we don't know the comms and the drones and whatnot that helped Ralla secure those kills. So who enabled him to get those kills. So Riot, they're looking good going on to this switch up now. We have ended the first half. We are on that second half now, but they're in a very good position.
Well, they are downstairs though. What was normally 100% success rate downstairs, it could be quite different. I mean, we'll get to see how that turns out. They are running the mirror though. That'll definitely make it a lot harder for potentially a bunker push, which is, you know, traditional push to try and make. Looks like majority of the team have set themselves up for sort of a west intake, right? They're trying to get this small tower first. There are some roamers on the side of Riot Gaming who are trying to slow down that side. Ajax is going to do a little bit of droning himself. You've set yourself up sneakily into that shell.
Fortunately, no one's going to shoot down his door. He didn't quite break it, so that's going to cost his, you know, Gemini usage, and he's just going to walk right in, and they know the pings. They're aware of Wamai's position. I think they are, and Ajax able to shut him down. Good teamwork and drone work from Nutty already, and maybe it is true, Elijah. Maybe they are better on this attack, and so far so good. They're working really well together, but we're seeing something a little bit different from Nutty that we didn't see from Riot. They're bringing that Capital.
Well, that'll definitely help with the later parts of the round, but for now you have to try and clear out these roamers. Not only is Tesla playing aggressive on this freezer, but I did see one play upstairs as well. Tesla tried to get aggressive, find himself a pick. Didn't work out in his favor though. He took the worst of that engagement and takes a lot of HP down. You'll have to go back down to bunker with the rest of his team as you are already in that man disadvantage with Flux being cleared super quickly by Nutty.
Yeah, but I think Nutty, they're making good time. We're almost halfway into the round, and they've pretty much cleared everything apart from Aces. He's tucked here in this tier 1. Cyro might shoot these drones here, but if he's not able to shoot the drone, Aces is going to get spotted. So I think he's propped himself up a little bit more on those stairs. So when it comes past, hopefully they don't spot Aces out, and he's able to sit there and hopefully do some big damage when they try and go back down those stairs.
Well, they did get a drone upstairs to try and clear out that T2, but they haven't cleared out that corner. And that's not a normal place that you would sit in as well. And thanks to not clearing it, you're able to get a kill and find one yourself. Cyro able to catch Ajax off guard, and he'll be able to even it back down to a 4v4 now. And you can see Aziz is still in that position. So if you're unaware, with only 46 seconds left and you're trying to rush and make up for time to try and get those back stairs, you could find yourselves losing it out. Looks like they're going for a freezer one instead. You're going to toss one of those C4s to get rid of the X-Kairos on the Habana. Ducker's able to find his kill, but Tesla's going to trade it back onto raindrops to even things back to a 3v3. Now, you got the Capiteo still up, able to utilize those smokes and firebolts as well, but Squish is making his way into the laundry. He's unable to get the kill. It will elude him, and Rella will find the best of that, but immediately traded back as Ducker finds the kill onto Cyro, but Glut with a nice shot onto Tesla. We'll leave it all down to Rella in a 1v2. Now, Ducker is quite low as well. He is upstairs as well. He's able to find his kill onto Ducker. Last one's coming. Injury, but Gut is able to get the kill instead.
What a far rotate from him, and able to find the trade back. But Nutty, even though the time was running out and the utility on the side of Riot looked really, really good, they were able to sort of work their way around it, slither on through, and I think that was very well played from them, being able to find those picks where necessary. Even though they lost that Yana in that big tower from a mistake, they were able to capitalize on the mistakes of Riot. And it was rather close, though. And they're going to give that one another go. So, Nutty, they find the first round of the attack. So, maybe this isn't a defense-sided Oregon map, Elijah. Maybe this is an attacker-sided Oregon.
Yeah, this is quite different. And normally we see time and time again that if you play downstairs and you're on that defender sided, you just win over and over again. But it's raining that isn't the case at all. Attack is over and over again, just playing so well against the defense that they're evening out that what's usually 100% success rate, taking it down to a 50.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, and I think that's it's good that teams, despite statistic-wise being at a disadvantage, you know, they prevail, they push through, and they prove that it is doable. But can they do it back-to-back? Or is Riot gonna have things tidied up a little bit cleaner and ready for what Nutty has to throw at them? That is the question. But similar sort of lineup. They are running that IQ, though, instead of the Yana. So no nades on the side of Nutty. So maybe they have plans for that IQ. Maybe to help with that Cade Claw. But they don't have any EMPs. So that's an interesting one.
Well, you can see that they did have a roam upstairs, quite aggressive. You can see Azus has set himself up into the attic as well, and he's got some reinforcements himself, so he's definitely looking to at least find one pick on here. The read is going to come out as well of his position thanks to the live droning as well. You do manage to do a lot of damage to Ajax and rotate away unpunished, so I mean that's not bad. You didn't get a pick, but you did do a lot of damage, and that'll make it easier for any other engagement that'll happen throughout the round. Getting rid of that IQ is going to be super strong for keeping that utility up, especially because you've got Cade in your hands as well. You want to keep those electric hatch, you know, electrified. Try and stop them from getting it open.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nutty, they don't have any EMPs. So I don't know if that was a bit of a misplay. The only hatch they're going to be able to get open is that laundry.
And they'll have to make do with what they have. Syra is trying to play aggressive, and he's been droned out thanks to the live droning and the communication as well. But he's got to fall off, though. He doesn't want to lose. A nice little confirm from Tessa as well, but he was immediately blinded and traded back to Gluttony, unable to get away unpunished thanks to that. It's a good little refrag coming out from them, but that'll take it down to an even 4-4. Ducko is not looking too healthy, so it is in the favor of Riot Gaming at the moment. Downstairs as well, you have to be careful of all of these crossfires, especially having all of these hatches electrified. It's going to make it quite harder, but they're going for the same sort of execute last time, sending raindrops with those X-Kairos to get rid of that mirror that is set up into that freezer hallway now as well. Rella to try and find a pick of his own, and he's able to find the down, I believe. No, he proned.
No. It looked like a down with the timing, but Buck able to beat the Matrix and dodge the bullets of that one, but time is ticking, Elijah. 35 seconds, and they don't have any real hatches to work with. They are close here in Laundry. He's going to flame out that position to clear if there was a mirror playing there, but no one's there. But Glut able to find the pick on the Ace. Ace was able to shut down Raindrops. Squish able to find Rella, but it's all just a flurry of kills. Glut finding his third and able to shut down Flux, but it's all left to Jaeger. He's able to find Ducko, and the plant is going down, so he just has to take this one in freezer. Can he find the pick? He knows where he is. He shuts him down. Headshot for him. Double for him as well. Can he find the Capitao? No. Glut once again clutching up for his team, and an important round to win for Nutty.
On attacker side as well. I mean, for this team lineup, downstairs, it's attacker sided. They've switched the narrative.
They've changed it. They took the story that we wrote in the first game and completely flipped it. They're like, no, we're not having the same game as last game. We're going to change everything that you thought was true. It's all false. And right now, it is. It's a completely different game from what we saw the last two teams play. And I like that.
A closer game too. I mean, Nutty and Riot, they've managed to clear it back up to a 4-4. So you're on that even scoreboard now. It's anybody's game. From here on out, I mean, you're back to that square one.
You are, and the thing is, though, it might be even Steven, but you have less rounds to work with now, so these later dire rounds now are very, very important to win. If you lose it, if you let it slip, it could cost you the rest of the game, as both teams, they're only 2 rounds away from securing that match point, and if, you know, there can only be 1 round winner, Elijah. And it's gonna come down to the last few engagements, the last few rounds, on who wins this, who takes it all.
It looks like it's just been based on who's the better attacker at the moment. But they're looking to go for a traditional take, which we've seen quite commonly, which is, you know, having that attic control super fast as well. Raindrops is on that line again, as well as the Yamaru. See already a first kill to drop out. Doko with that very first blood onto Syro will remove the Warden from play, so that's a really good pick to start off with. Not only are you getting rid of that potential of that 1.5, but if you've got any flashes, which it doesn't look like you've chosen to bring, that'll definitely help with your execute now. You can see Tesla's in an engagement of his own, but a nice little pinch coming out from Nutty Gaming is able to clear him out of that meeting, as well as Doko finds the second kill of his round on Torella. And that'll leave it all down to Aces and Flux to try and pull it back for the rest of his team, but in a 5v2 upstairs with all the angles that you need to watch, it is undoable.
Yeah, and it's a rather interesting position to be in so early into the round too. Nutty, they have plenty of time to work with and try and find these last 2 defenders, but there is a pre-play C4. They got to be careful of that, but detonated a little bit too early, and Dako able to find his 3rd, but nice shot from Flux. You know, you may have cost the round, you know, your team isn't quite winning this one. It's a little bit much to ask from you, Flux, but, you know, you got a nice shot. You got your 1, you could say. But they
Dako hit a 4K though.
Yeah. What's with the 4Ks today, man?
It's huge. I mean, Dako getting a 4K. We've seen, I believe it was Glut to get 4K as well.
Ralla got a 4K, I do believe, in that meeting round.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's a 4K day.
It is a 4K day. We're in week 5 though.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as
But
many bombs
it's
as
a 4K day. Are we gonna see an ace today? I'd love to see it. An ace for weekday 5. 5 for 5. But Flux, he's going to be mute. He's going to be trying to deny any sort of stuff coming down below. So we see both these teams playing and holding these sites a little bit differently. And, you know, right, they're opting to hold down below and sort of deny that sort of stuff. Whereas Nutty, they didn't really opt to do that all that much. But Nutty, they won the last round up here, and right, they're going to be careful about dropping that many bodies so early, so hopefully they hold it a little bit more passive, or at least when the gunfights do come, they be the victor of it. Otherwise, Nutty, they're going to find themselves on that match point.
Well, they're definitely looking to slow down that clear that comes out from Nutty, especially on those downstairs. The Roamers are going to look to do a little bit more work. You're running the Solus this time, which will definitely help with watching out how those pre-placed drones come into effect. Legion, he's going for the roam himself as well, so those little proxy mines can come into effect, but he's found himself pinched between too many angles, and he'll fall victim to Glut with a nice shot through the main door. We'll clear him up, and that'll take a lot of utility off of his hands, as well as you're unable to utilize more of those Legion mines that load out during the round that you play.
Yeah, and now puts Riot in, once again, a tough position. They either have to find that pick or sort of wait for when Nutty goes for that execute and hopefully be the better of the engagements. But here, Tesla, he's trying to get active on this Amaru, but he's sticking out a little bit too much, and Raindrops there for backup, able to shut down him. And once again, Riot not able to find an answer against Nutty on the attack right now. Nutty, I'm pretty sure, have won all of their attack rounds so far, Elijah. So can they do it again?
Well, it looks like that seems to be the case. They've already cleared both of those 2 roamers as well. You've got those Goyo packs to help you slow down for time, but you popped it a little bit too late, allowing Glut to get control this early. So he's found himself in a nice position to help for this execute now, as he's holding that attic control to try and clear up some of the space for the 2, potentially trying to open it up. See the EMP is getting popped as well. This can open is going to come into effect in just a second to open up that pathway to help you get a pinch on for the rest of the team.
I do believe that K-Claw must be in a cheeky spot, maybe outside or something, because... Oh, there we go. I think it's open. Rella.
Ooh, a nice shot. Rella being able to find a kill onto Squish. I mean, He was trying to cook you an egg, KJ.
He was, and that's a pick that you need. If you are Riot Gaming right now, you need that pick. It's going to definitely slow down the attack, and it's going to make it that little bit easier for you to hold when it comes down to it, because Nutty, they're getting ready to collapse on you in the side. They've got all the positions, and there we go. Gluttony, he's starting the train of things, and he's able to find Rella. C4 is prepped for that default plant, so they're going to be careful where they opt to plant. But Gluttony, he's on a heater right now, 13 and 5.
Yeah, he's not looking to slow down anytime soon, so the man advantage is not looking too good at the moment. You have to be a little bit careful of those plants, like we mentioned before. The flashes are going to come in, but the positioning onto that kid Bunk's window is going to do a little bit of damage to Aces as well. Flux going on a little bit of a flank. The C4 to be blown as they're not planting on that usual spot that you would see, and it'll go down successfully thanks to Glut being able to read into that, having that added control. Flux is going to find a kill onto Ducko, go for the second, and he'll land it nicely to shut down Glut and leave it to a 2v2 now. One of the players is outside, but his positioning is well read as Aces is able to try and clean him up. He's unable to do so yet with the support of Raindrops clearing Flux. Gonna leave it all down to Aces, and he's on quite low HP as well. He tries to go for the long arm, but Raindrops has got so much work to do. He manages to lose the kill though. Ajax, with a nice shot, will end it out.
Yeah, unfortunate for Riot. They're just not able to find their footing on the defense, and now Nutty, they're on that match point, and you know, we thought that Riot were going to win this one, Elijah. A lot of us thought that Riot were going to win this one. But Credo, he believed in Nutty winning this one. And right now, that's looking very probable. Riot, they still, you know, it's still plausible. You can still come back from this. Nutty were able to win 2 rounds of defense. You can definitely do it as well.
I mean, you can't make a mistake from here. I mean, you're at that match point. You're downstairs. What traditionally we've seen Nutty just... The attack side from both of these teams have just been superior, but I mean, let's have a look at the scoreboard really quickly. Let's see how well these players are doing in terms of how they're winning. I mean, look at that already. Nutty Gaming, like you said earlier, last round, we weren't too sure about it, but this is the confirm. They haven't lost a single attack. And I don't believe they're going to let that slip anymore as we push into what could be potentially the very last round.
Yeah, and I think maybe I... was right when I said that Nutty, they're a attacker-sided team. Clearly, they've won 4 rounds in a row. Can they do the 5th to lock things out and secure that win and have a flawless attack, not dropping a single round? Or will Riot finally have all the answers that they need to finally find their first round on the defense?
I feel like Riot need to be a little bit careful on how they roam against Nutty, because we've seen them try it again and again to try and get those early picks, but the communication and teamwork that comes out by Nutty, it leaves them in a really rough position, and they are so good at clearing and live droning each other. You can already see, look, they've got 2 people dedicated to drones to drone the rest of their team into the building, make sure it's clear, and they're not looking to be punished for any lost intel.
Yeah, and on a side like this, I think Riot's best bet is just to hold out and try and run that clock and force them to plant, because I think Nutty just strives having that man advantage and going for that execute. But Ducko, he's looking to do something a little bit cheeky here. They were on the cam. He's going to reveal his position, and the drone is going to come out to reveal the defender's positions on these stairs, and there's 2 of them there. Ducko's going to be careful that he doesn't get double swung here. He is got EMPs instead of nades. Maybe he forgot, but at least he has them this time, so that they can assist him and his team in opening up that hatch.
Well, they've got a lot of time. They did well for time at the moment. You've got 1:20 left to do so, so you're working well. It looks like this is a different sort of defense coming out from Riot. I mean, traditionally we got to see them try to go for an aggressive roam. This time they're bunkered down. They're not looking to let that slip up this time. They're able to get that hatch open onto E-Box successfully though. Mirror is going to be popped as well as they try to run that against them. But there hasn't been a bunker push just of yet. Saro has popped himself up onto these back hatches to try and see if he can go for a potential late flank as well. But already you're trying to make your way down to Freezer. Ajax to try and capitalize on a kill. Not let go just yet. Roller is able to have a confirm onto Squish. And that'll be the first kill.
And that puts Riot in a very good position. There's not a lot of time, and now for this execute, Nutty are in that man disadvantage, so they're going to struggle, and if Riot trades the right ways, they're going to come out on top. But Ajax able to find the head of not only Aces, but Ralla as well, and that is some nice shots. Triple for him. He finds Flux as well, and it's all falling apart for Riot. Flux, Tesla right now is very, very low in Cyro. Ajax on the quad. Can he find the ace?
No, it's a day of 4K, KJ. It's just after 4K for both of these teams. But in the end, the attackers will prevail on a map that we thought was defender-sided. Nutty is going to change up that narrative and take themselves a nice win. Glut being the MVP, of course, but their team altogether, amazing.
Yeah, they didn't drop a single round on that attack, and that's a formidable effort, especially on a map like Oregon, and Riot going downstairs on a, that's a side that you shouldn't really win as an attacker, and it definitely is more defender-sided. They're not able to find any defender rounds either for Riot, so maybe back to the drawing board for them on those defense strats, and sort of maybe in those scrims practicing. They got something to work on. But Nutty, they also have some sort of defense stuff to work on as well. They only found 2 rounds, but their attack, I mean, some things went a little bit wrong here and there, but for the most part, they worked very, very well together. And I think, give themselves a big pat on the back for that one, because that was very nice to watch, a team work so well together on an attack.
And that's something to note down as well. If you're potentially going up against Nutty, I mean, their attack is something that you need to be a little bit wary of. And I don't know if that's just their attack in general, or maybe it's just how well they work all together on a map like Oregon. So you might want to think twice against taking Nutty to Oregon. But Nutty, well played. 7-4. I mean, that's a statement to make on a team that was higher than you, I believe, just by 1.
No, I do believe that Nutty were in that 6th place.
6th place, yeah. I'm looking at it
Riot was 7th. So, they were on top of the leaderboard that little bit more, but we did think that Riot was going to take this one, Elijah, but we were proved wrong, and I like that, though. I like that. I like that I can't guess how the games are going to go, and Nutty proving us wrong. And we did say it was going to be a close game, and it was a close game, and then Nutty just completely out of the park with that comeback and that flawless attack.
I mean, well played by them, but we've got the interview coming away as the lovely man Ducko is going to be joining us just for a little bit of an insight from a very exciting game of Oregon. So we'll just wait for him to get through in just a few seconds. But Ducko, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ducko, welcome, welcome. I mean, how was that for you? How did you feel going into Oregon against them?
Honestly, it's just I felt comfortable. The boys felt comfortable. Got a nice warm up. So shout out to Sally's team. I'm sorry, I've forgotten what team they are. Someone can help me out. But yeah, Trident.
Trident.
But yeah, shout out to Trident for giving us a good warm up scrim. But yeah, we came into that game very warmed up and ready to go.
That's good to see. And your attack, Ducko, your team looks so good on that attack, and you were working together so well. So is that just from the practice? Like, are you guys very, very comfortable on that attack rather than the defense on Oregon? Or what's the sort of insight, if you can give us any insight on that?
I mean, our defense was quite sloppy there. We expected a better half, a much better half, as you can obviously tell. Like, everybody wants a good defense half, but our attacks are a lot stronger at the moment. With Glut popping off tonight.
He definitely went big, but I think that'll be all. Do you have anything to say to anybody potentially watching just before we head off?
Shout out to Nutty, shout out to the boys on the team. Oblivion, shout out to you for stopping in for our scrims when we need you and being on standby all the time. And yeah, good game to Riot, but I mean, maybe bring up the bring a better defense, you know.
Ooh, the ego. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, cheers to that. What at Trident? Prepare yourself. We're coming back, but we're not in a 4v5 anymore. So, you know, watch out. And yeah, cheers for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ducko. Yeah, I love the confidence. We'll see you again very soon.
See you later.
Awesome. I love Ducko. I mean, I love that sort of like confidence booster from him, and I can imagine he feels quite good, especially with their team being so prominent on attack. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of Nutty, and that's not a team or a force to be reckoned with by the looks of it.
Yeah, and they definitely had a, you know, Duck and Glut definitely had good games, but so did, you know, Ajax. All around, Nutty had a really good game, especially going into that attack. So, you know, they can have that ego. They can give themselves a pat on the back. They did outline that, you know, their defense was a little bit sloppy, but at least you have something to work on going into that practice for the later weeks. But that is our match 2 done and dusted. We have our victors for today for those first 2 matches, but we have some more Siege action ahead of us. Any last words before we go to a quick break before that 3rd match is ahead of us, Elijah?
Nope, that'll be all for me. So we'll just move into the next game, hopefully very soon. Hope you guys stick around for that, because it is a game that I'm looking forward with Panic being at the very top of the leaderboard. It is their game. So if you guys are excited to see what is currently the first place standing game, definitely stick around for that. But in terms of that, we'll see you guys very soon. Stay hydrated.
We'll see you guys soon.